This podcast mentions alcohol and has adult content. Not suitable for children or the faint at heart. For entertainment purposes only. This is the Tales of a Small Town Bartender podcast. You have been warned.
Hey everyone, this is Toni.
This is Sean. Welcome back. Halloween special.
Halloween special.
Yeah.
Okay.
Halloween and we're special. No.
Yep.
Getting
Hopefully.
close to
Ooh.
Halloween. Hey, so since this is Tales of a Small Town Bartender, little birdie told me that you actually have a bar story from this week.
Well, it's just a little funny something that somebody said that made me crack up.
We'll go on and then we'll get into the ghost stuff because I got a lot of great ghost stuff coming here.
Okay.
All right, let's do it.
I bartend on Tuesday nights, and I also play pool league on Tuesday nights on one of our home teams. So I only play matches when the team is at the bar because it's a travel team. They go to other bars and play. So my captain.
So you're bartending and playing pool at the same time?
Yeah, I am good, right?
I'd say during a pool, I know those pool nights can sometimes be very challenging because there's a lot of people there.
Yeah.
Right.
But here's the thing. He usually plays me last when people have already left. You know, he tries to play me last.
Okay.
So
anyway, continue. Sorry.
I did play last this night. So we have two pool tables. So they usually play on the back one in the back of the bar, but he puts me on the front one so I can keep an eye on the bar because it's right next to the bar. So it throws me up on the front table and I'm playing, and there is a gentleman that comes in who mostly drinks soda when he comes in. He's in his 80s. He's an older guy.
Sure.
He's in his 70s. He's not the oldest one. I think he's in his late 70s. So he's sitting at the bar and he dresses very dapper, if you know what I mean.
Sure.
So everybody calls him Professor because he's a retired professor from Marist College.
Oh, nice.
And he's sitting at the bar in his little suit jacket, drinking his Diet Coke. And I'm kind of listening to the conversation he's having at the bar, but kind of not because I'm playing pool. And I hear him say, well, it's okay to do a little cocaine every once in a while.
Okay.
It's okay to do a little cocaine every once in a while. And I'm like, what? Did he just say that? And I looked at him and he was looking at me because he was watching me play pool. And I looked at him and I was like, did you just say what I thought you said? And he's like, yeah, it's not a big deal. I'm like, okay. He's not something you would expect someone who's drinking soda at the bar. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and an 80-year-old to boot. But if you do the math on it, just quick did the math in my head as you said that, he was in his 30s and the 70s.
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
Know, the 70s were pretty much powered by cocaine, I think.
I don't know.
I don't know either, but that's pretty funny. Wow.
I was just like laughing. I was like, oh my God. And everybody else that heard him was cracking up. They're like, what?
That's awesome.
Like, just not something you imagine to hear from somebody drinking soda at a bar.
Professor Pablo, man. Awesome. Love it. So, all right. First thing I want to get out of the way is Ghost Watch. Ghost Watch with Toni. So if you're tuning in, Toni has a haunted house. Her place is haunted. She's had a bunch of signs of paranormal activity, but don't talk about it because we're going to run down a list of signs of paranormal activity, and we'll see how many of these signs. We'll see how haunted your place is.
Okay. Well, we've had no activity in the last week.
Okay, so nothing new to report.
No.
Then how long have you lived at this place?
2 years. That's it.
Okay, so 2 years. And when did the paranormal activity start up? What would you guess?
I'm gonna say probably 6 months after we moved.
All right, so you've been having paranormal activity for 1.5 years in this place.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see how many of these 19 signs of the paranormal you've experienced in your place to determine how haunted your place is. So, have you experienced apparitions?
No.
Okay. So in this case, apparition is the materializing of energy that resembles a physical form. It could be a person, animal, dog, whatever, mist, vapor, denser matter, doesn't matter. Okay, so no. What about shadow people?
No.
Okay. All right. Phantom sounds.
Yes.
Okay. Tell me about that.
That was the change. Remember I told you about it sounded like somebody was throwing change in the change jar?
Change in the change jar. That's a very good example.
That's what it sounded like.
Okay. Yeah. The sound of a slamming door, although the door hasn't moved.
Oh yeah, the slamming door. Weird. Oh well, the door's slammed, so that doesn't. The door actually slammed along with the sound.
that is not a phantom sound. Then.
Yeah, that's not a phantom sound.
That's a real sound. Okay, so we have a good one for sure. Disembodied voices.
No.
Have you heard hearing voices? Vocalization with no distinguishable source. No.
No.
Okay. Electronic voice phenomenon.
No,
that's in the recorder. You probably wouldn't have done that. Yeah. This is a good one. This one you may need to think about because sometimes people go, "Oh, you know what? Yeah, now that you mention it, phantom smells or aromas, like a pipe, like tobacco, cigarette, wood smoke, like from a campfire, or roses."
You know, I've smelled like wood smoke, but I'm always assuming that somebody's burning a fireplace or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or
pretty common
has a
in the
bonfire
Northeast.
going. I mean, yeah. So I never would have associated it with that, but.
All right, so we have
I don't think so.
one and a maybe, maybe not.
Probably not.
All right. What about poltergeist activity? I would say yes to this. Poltergeist activity.
Well, the door's slamming, right?
Right. It's a prankster that likes to make noise.
Right.
That's what he does. So you've had doors slamming. You've also had more.
Doors swinging open really hard.
Yeah.
So and the light going on and off in my bedroom by itself.
Oh, that's right. Yep. The light in your bedroom. Okay. So we definitely have two. Have you had electronic equipment malfunctioning? Oh, the light.
The light, yeah.
The light in your bedroom, sure. What about like stuff like camera stop working? Oh, lights turning off for no apparent reason.
Remember that one night we were trying to connect to do the podcast and I couldn't get it to connect?
Yes.
That was one of those nights.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, like everything was happening that night. It was weird.
Okay, so you definitely have had that one then. That's 3. Yeah. Man, okay. Have you seen any orbs?
No.
Okay, so no orbs. You have to, and this is the thing is people are like, I took a picture and it's an orb. Look at it, you can see it. But no, you need to see an orb with your naked eye so you can ensure it's not dust particles. So,
right. Yeah, no, I haven't. No.
Yeah. Okay, unexplained battery drain.
No.
That's a pretty common one if you watch like ghost hunter shows and the paranormal shows and stuff. It's like all of a sudden your camera will just die, crazy. Okay, what about cold spots in your house?
No.
No ambient temperature.
I have a hot spot. I swear to God, there's one spot on the floor that's warmer than everywhere else and on the floor. Like, because I walk barefoot through the house, and there's one spot in my living room where the floor is warmer. There must be like a hot water pipe or something going under there. That's the only thing I can think of. But there's not by the bathroom or the kitchen, so I don't know.
Kind of odd. Okay, so we'll call that a maybe. So we've got 3 absolutelys and 2 maybes. any physical sensation like brushing of hair, a breeze coming past you?
No.
Okay. All right. So they're calling this they're saying asking about an electromagnetic field spike. So that's an
I
EMF detector. So
Yeah,
you wouldn't have an EMF
know that.
detector. What about kids or pet reactions?
Oh, that night that my bedroom door swung open, it scared the shit out of my cat, and she hid under my bed.
Was it the door doing it, or do you think it was
I don't
something
know.
else? I don't know.
I don't
Okay,
know.
so we have 3 and 3 maybes, 3 good maybes. Okay. All right, we didn't have any freaking ectoplasm. Come on, man.
Really? That's a question?
It's one of the things. It's supposedly an ethereal manifestation into the physical and is a gel-like residue. Like, okay, yeah. The term was coined in 1894 during the spiritualism movement. The translucent glowing substance was believed to be produced by a medium from interaction with a spirit instead of being the byproduct of the spirit itself. So it's changed since then. It would supposedly flow out of the medium's mouth or nose. That's not ectoplasm. Breaking news. Somebody's got a cold.
Yeah, right?
All right.
Somebody has allergies.
All right. So all right. Obviously not ectoplasm. Physical attacks.
No.
All right. So not thrown out of bed, bitten, pushed down staircases, locked out of your home.
No. Oh, my you know what? My son got locked out of the house one time.
Was it his fault?
I don't know, because we have on our front door, we have the handle that has a lock on it, and then we have the deadbolt on top. We never lock the door handle. We always lock the deadbolt. So me and my husband were not home, and he went outside for something and shut the door, not locking the deadbolt. But when he tried to get back in, the handle was locked, and he couldn't get back in, and he had to wait for us to get home to get back in.
Oh wow! All right, so we'll say that's a weird one.
Yeah.
We'll go with 3 and 4 maybes. Do you have any possessed objects, like a doll or another child's toy?
No.
That
would be horrible. Horrible.
Do you have inexplicable sadness?
No.
Sometimes the signs of paranormal activity are highly subtle. One sign is that very disturbing is a sudden feeling of sadness. This type of emotional response comes over you out of nowhere. You have no reason to feel sad, yet the feeling is very powerful and real.
So that person might just be depressed.
Yeah, that could be depression. Unexplained nausea.
No.
Okay. All right. So out of the 19 signs, you had 3 solid yeses and 3 maybes. And I'd say 1 was a good maybe and 2 were maybes.
Yeah.
So you got like almost just about a 25 to 30% actual haunting, which I think is pretty cool, pretty legit. You got a good haunting there, Miss Toni.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. My son wants to do the Ouija board, and I said absolutely not, because I have one, and I said no, we're not doing that.
That's awesome. You should. You can use it to communicate, and I've heard this from other people, and I think I brought it up on the podcast a couple episodes ago. It's like you can just talk to them and they will understand you. Be like, hey, slamming doors, not cool, bro. Just trying to get some stuff done tonight, if you don't mind. Can we chill for tonight and we could talk later or something like that? And most of the time they'll respect that if you're cool, if you're not like a pushy dickhead. But so that's a sign, don't be a pushy dickhead even in the afterlife.
Oh, so I was talking to the ghost yesterday, because it turns out it was my fault, but I thought the ghost did something. I was cleaning out the refrigerator, right? So I pulled out the bottom glass piece, the shelf, the bottom that's over top of the drawer. So I pulled it out and I washed it in the sink, and I have this purple cloth that I was drying it with, and then I put it back in the fridge, and then I went to take the next shelf out, and I was looking for the purple cloth and I couldn't find it anywhere. So anywhere. I'm walking all over the house looking for it everywhere. And I'm like, where the hell did I put it? I just had it. It's purple. It's bright purple. It stands out, you know? It was in my refrigerator. Because I was yelling at the ghost. I said, okay, this isn't funny. I want it back.
He gave it to you. Put it in the fridge.
Yeah.
So maybe it was the ghost.
I don't know. I don't remember putting it in the fridge, but that's where it was. So
hey, the ghost put it in the fridge. I'm telling you. There you go.
It was funny that I was yelling at it.
Coincidence?
Probably.
Maybe.
It was probably me. But yeah, it was just funny that it crosses my mind that, the ghost must have hit it.
Yeah, maybe. You don't know. Maybe he's playful. Or she, I don't know. So I wanted to bring up a pretty cool experience that I had. One of a few I'm going to talk about tonight, because we've had my wife and I have had some pretty cool experiences with the supernatural. And I know, roll your eyes all you want and whatever, but
I'm not rolling my eyes.
So one of them centers around this old building in a town. I used to live in Davenport, Iowa, and this is the birthplace of chiropractic. If you've ever had a chiropractic adjustment, you can likely thank, there's a couple other colleges now, but the Palmer Chiropractic College was where the Palmer family essentially founded chiropractic. And basically that's where it started to spread. And that college is still going strong today. But one of the buildings that they own, it's an old Masonic temple. And if you know anything about the Masons, I don't know if it's so much a thing now, but back in the day, in the early 1900s, the Masonics were a little freaking weird. They did some very unusual things. So the old Masonic temple is still there. I think it's on 7th Street and Brady, and you can go Google Earth map, search it, whatever. And what you're going to find is a 4-story building with no windows. So it was formerly known as Lyceum Hall and Museum. It was a chiropractic museum, and they had some crazy stuff in there. I was lucky enough to go through it. Brains in jars and all kinds of. Is your ghost acting up again?
No, that's my mother.
Oh, my mom. But the Masons in Davenport eventually realized they needed a new building, so then they gave it. Palmer bought it and made it a museum for a while, and it has several stages in it to where they hold their graduations for their new chiro doctor things, whatever they want to call them. And but it has no windows. And so let me read a little bit some facts about it. Davenport Lodge number 37. It was a lodge of master masons with 400 members, many of whom were local policemen, and fancy enough, it's just a few blocks from the police station, where it's always been down there. And it was sold to Palmer College because of the high cost and upkeep and other circumstances. So Palmer bought it because they wanted to grow southward. 7th Street is its new southern border, so to speak. So I worked just a few blocks from this place for 15 years.
Oh.
Yeah. And it was kind of cool because it was right across the street from, they have the place where they have the bodies that were donated to chiropractic, the sites of chiropractic, right across the street from where I worked. And that includes like dogs and cats and people and everything. Never got to go in there, but one of the
creepy, no?
Yeah, very cool to see. But one of the places I did get to go in is the old Lyceum Hall. It does have some windows, but they're tiny and nowhere near. It's like just a few tiny little windows. So the manifestations, all the paranormal activity which takes place in this building, has been boiled down to one sentence, and I found it to be very true. Quote, many types of haunting phenomenon occur at all hours of the day.
Huh.
This have been reported by the college's security staff. Okay.
Yeah, wow.
So fast forward into my life, I had a friend, we had a mutual friend, my friend and I had a mutual friend who was a college security staff. and he had the overnight watch at Lyceum Hall, and he invited us down. And as we're walking through the building, it's probably 11 o'clock at night. I would guess that's about after I got off up the street, walked down and met him with my friend. We're all walking through the building, and there are doors slamming all over this building.
Oh, did you see a door slam or just hear it?
Hear them.
Okay.
Did not see any door slam, but we could feel like a bunch of tactile and sensory activity. I got touched.
Mm.
There were aromas. There were cold spots. There was definitely the feeling of being watched. There was some lights going off and on, and the doors were opening and closing. We could hear them because it's 4 stories. It's huge, and it's nothing but offices. And the doors, it seemed to always avoid us as we're walking through Lyceum Hall, first floor, second floor, third floor. The door around the corner would slam, or the door on the floor below us would slam, or the door on the floor above us would slam, but never right in front of us. It's like they were playing games.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So has there ever been like a ghost hunter or any kind of other ghost people come and investigate that place?
I think they've been asked, but Palmer will not do it because I don't want to be associated with that kind of stuff. That was the explanation that I heard.
Oh,
but
that's a shame.
Her friend, who is the security staff, said that he's heard, because he was an overnight guy there. Him and another guy were both the security. They worked together in a team, and he could hear disembodied voices talking, and sometimes they would call out their names. How weird is that?
Yeah, that is a little creepy. I don't know if I would trust that, though. Like, I would feel like somebody's messing with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But very cool. And very cool haunted place, and a very cool place to experience. Even better if you can get in there at night without getting arrested. Please and thank you.
Yeah, so how was it when you said you were touched? You felt like you were touched. How did that make you feel? Like, did the hair on the back of your neck stand up, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, instant goosebumps for sure.
Yeah.
It felt like a finger's like just brushed through your hair.
Oh.
Yeah, just like it's like walking by and just like from the front to the back, just like fingertips through your hair. And I jumped and ducked. And and the guy that we were there with, the security guard, and goes, yeah, that's pretty common too. Like, thanks, jerk.
Yeah.
So excuse me. So we have all these spooky haunted stories that make you jump and give you goosebumps and make you apprehensive or make you afraid. But there are stories which are wholesome, related to the afterlife.
Yes.
And yes, and these are, for example, 3 stories that happen directly to my wife, myself, and my family. Excuse me,
Okay.
my family. So let me set the stage. My mother-in-law was in her final few days with ovarian cancer, and was in hospice at home,
Oh,
and we were over, and we were there every day. Of course, her mom was a very huge influence and inspiration in her life. They had a very close relationship. So she wanted to be there. So we're there, constantly for weeks.
mm-hmm.
And that night we're like, okay, we need to go get something to eat. She's doing okay. And we go out. So we go to this bar restaurant called Chi Chi's. And I don't remember if that was a chain back in the day or not, but it's a Mexican restaurant chain, essentially.
Yeah, sounds like I recall that. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I don't remember if it's a chain or not, but so rewind about a year or two. When I worked at a TV station, all my wife has 5 brothers and sisters, and they wanted to do something really special for her on Mother's Day once. So they said, can you do a video for us, Sean? And I'm like, absolutely, sure. And they all decided on the song Change the World, and gave me about, I don't know, maybe 80 pictures of her and her husband young,
Oh, wow.
her and her husband older, all the kids when they were babies, as they
Aw.
grew up throughout the years as adults, and now, and it ended. Change the World ended with her and her husband now, but also a group picture of all the children together. And this was not like nowadays you can just slap it on some offline editor and just punch it at everything and put it together over an audio track. This was freaking work, because I had to go to the studio camera, put the picture up, go shade the camera so the levels match and everything, then go record the picture, then change and repeat ad nauseum 80 times over,
Oh,
then set the audio track down, and then mix and fade all of the pictures together throughout the video live.
yeah, it's a lot easier to do that stuff now.
Oh my God, light years.
Yeah.
So anyway, Mother's Day comes and I give her the tape. I'm like, this is from all your children to you. And she, and really, it could not have turned out any better if a professional from New York did it. It really could not have turned out any better. It was so amazing. And she absolutely loved it. Watched it constantly, day and night. Loved it. So anyway, fast forward, and she's on her deathbed, and we go to Chi Chi's to have dinner, and there's no tables available. It's busy, and we're like, we'll just sit in the bar area, in the bar tables, and we sit down, and it's got, and I don't know, you've been to any Mexican restaurant I've ever been in. I don't mean a stereotype, but really, it's always got the what do you call the Mexican band music? There's a name for it. Gosh, that's gonna drive me nuts.
Yeah, I know. No, now I can't stop.
All right, so anyway, so that music is playing, and we order appetizers, we order drinks, we order our dinner, and we're about 3/4 of our way through the dinner, and the song ends, and Change the World comes on.
Oh,
That's whoa. And Laura and I, my wife, just when we heard that, we just stopped eating and looked at each other.
Oh wow, I could imagine.
And that quick, not 2 seconds later, somebody at the front desk is like, "Is there Sean and Laura here?"
Oh wow.
Yeah. And we had gone back to the house, and she had in fact passed at that moment.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Is it
complete mariachi.
Yes,
That's
it.
it.
That's
Mariachi
what I was
music.
thinking. That's what I was thinking.
Mariachi. That's it. So it's mariachi
I'm like,
music.
Mara.
So yeah,
There we go.
mariachi music. So yeah, mariachi music's playing nonstop. Then all of a sudden, whoop, genre change, and it's that song. Totally weird.
Yeah.
It had been mariachi music all night.
Yeah, that is
Up until that
definitely
point.
weird.
So that's weird, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then experience number 2 involving the same woman. She had passed. A few months, maybe 8 months had gone by, and my wife is driving down the street, and absentmindedly with the kids in the back, and they were very young at the time, 2, maybe 3, or 2ish, and driving down the street, and the light as she's pulling up to it turns green. But before she gets there, my son pops up from the back seat, and he says, "Nan says slow down. Her wings can't keep up."
No.
And my wife is like, "Wait, what?" And when she turned around to look at him, she took her foot off the gas pedal. Even though he had a green light, she turned and looked and was like, "What the hell are you talking about?" And this dude came from right to left and completely blew the light.
Wow.
If she hadn't have stopped, that would have been them.
Wow. I just got goosebumps.
Crazy. Where do you get that? Nan says, slow down. Her wings can't keep up. I don't understand or try to pretend to understand where that comes from.
No.
So, and then another one was my grandmother, who passed unexpectedly in the night. She had flown back from Europe to the United States and then suffered an aneurysm while she was sleeping on one of her first nights back, which from blood clots can be pretty common when you travel long distances. So,
yes,
take that baby aspirin if you're not already on blood thinners of some sort when you're traveling long distances like that. It can save your life.
Yeah.
But my grandmother, when my first son was born, he was 1 or 2ish, and she absolutely adored him, loved him to death. And when we brought him down, she would go out in the garage with him and play golf and hit the putter, hit the little golf ball around. Loved playing with him, absolutely adored him. And it was the most adorable relationship I think I've ever seen. Well,
Aww.
she passed away, and I went down for the funeral, and my wife didn't go because, she had to keep working, and we weren't that rich. Couldn't just, pull off the work and travel, pay for everybody. Right. So I go down for the funeral, and everything happens, and then I come back home, and then about a year later we go down together for a family vacation to my grandfather's house, and are sleeping in the master bedroom essentially, and he's by himself in his house, so he doesn't need the master bedroom. He just uses one of the side bedrooms. So we're sleeping in the master bedroom, and my wife in the morning wakes up and she said, I'm feeling very peaceful today. And I was like, what happened? And she goes, well, through the night, I woke up and we slept with our kids in the bed with us. They were very small.
Mm-hmm.
My oldest was like 3 and my youngest was 1. And he said, I woke up and I think I dreamed your grandmother was standing there at the end of the bed looking at the children and smiling.
Aww.
And I was like, oh, is that really? And she goes, yeah. And she was wearing this beautiful blue dress and just looked as amazing as ever. And I was absolutely dumbstruck. And she's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, nothing. Let me process this. So I had gone down for the funeral, and the blue dress is what she was wearing when we buried her.
Wow.
So she didn't know that.
Right. She wasn't there.
I never mentioned it because why would you?
Why would you? Yeah.
Yeah. It's a dead person's clothes. I mean, who
Yeah.
gives a shit, right?
I don't think I've ever mentioned that before.
Yeah. Oh, you wouldn't believe what she was wearing at her own funeral. That
Yeah.
never comes up in conversation.
No.
But yeah, that's amazing. Which leads me into, I think, the last subject of the night, which is, so we're going to talk about religion a little bit.
Uh-oh.
Not going to get too far into it because
Okay.
it's not like anybody's, I mean, especially nowadays in today's climate, for God's sakes, I don't know what's going on in the world. But I think if you go on to YouTube and you look up near-death experiences, post-life experience, stuff like that. Have you ever watched any of these videos?
No.
So I fell down a freaking rabbit hole. And I guess it kind of changed me in a lot of ways. And now I'm not afraid of death at all. Because
Okay.
no, not at all. And it's kind of funny. So it's kind of funny because if you're Catholic, which like I grew up, but I think you grew up Catholic also.
Yes.
But,
yes.
When you grow up Catholic, you talk about heaven. Muslims have their version of heaven. Everybody's got their version of the afterlife. That's amazing, right?
Yeah.
They're all just a little different. But some of them involve virgins. Some of them do not. But they're all pretty much the Nirvana theme, essentially, is what it is. And
Right.
I don't mean smells like Teen Spirit. I mean the place of everlasting pleasure and whatever. Just an amazing thing. But the problem with this is that Muslims think they're right. Christians think they're right. Catholics think they're right. Adventists think they're right. I mean, everybody thinks they're right, but everybody's got just a slightly different story. That is until you start talking to the people that may have actually been there. Near-death experiences. So at first I was like, okay, great. So you have people in near-death experiences, but the more you watch, the more you realize there's common threads. And
so I have a question.
Sure.
Why were you looking up near-death experiences on YouTube?
It came up under my feed. I have no idea.
So it just randomly showed up. So something wanted you to see that.
Yes. Something.
Okay.
Yeah, something wanted me to see this.
Okay.
So, and I've had this is actually a great place. I've had a dream before. And I dreamed, and it was my father who has passed for some time, my father's parents, and my uncle and my aunt, who I grew up with, all five of them, very much so involved in my life, and for the most part. And then I was dreaming just recently, probably within the last 10 years, and they were on a street. We were on a street in New York City, and I was walking in one direction down the sidewalk, and the five of them were walking in the other, and they all looked great and healthy and happy. And I thought about it, and it's not the way that I would have pictured them. How I would imagine, hey, that's the way that, that would be you being healthy, or you being the way that I would want to remember you. It was just them. And I said, oh my gosh, how are you doing? And they're going, we're great. It's we're just hanging out. And I was like, is this what you do? And he goes, yeah, we just kind of hang out. And right now we're just going down the street. We're going to go, and I can't remember where they said they were going, but they were going somewhere together, and they're just going to, hang out and talk and, have some whatever, coffee or whatever. And I said, hey, can I go? And then my dad said, yeah, but not yet, soon. And then I woke up.
That would scare me.
So it didn't scare me at all.
Soon? The word soon would scare me.
Well, no, I mean, but what's soon in eternity?
Oh, that's true.
Right? If you've got 10,000 years, what's soon?
Yeah.
Right? So at first, yeah, at first I was with you on that, but then I was like, but soon in over the course of an eternity is nothing, right?
Hmm.
So, all right. So getting back to the near death experiences, there are a lot of very common threads and some things that some people experience and some people don't, but still the threads remain the same. So, boom, you're on the table at the hospital and something happens to you and you're considered dead. Everything stops working. Some
Mhm.
people I've seen were brain dead for more than 30 minutes. Okay.
Wow, that's a long
Yeah,
time.
that's a long time. That's brain damage, brain dead, right?
Right.
Vegetable brain dead.
How is it
Uh,
that some people get brain damage and some people don't?
Interesting question. I don't have the answer to. All right.
Neither do I.
So as you cross over, some people see they go above the body, they go above their body, but at that point you don't know. You know you're no longer associating your spirit with that body. So some people are like, "Hey, that's me," and some people are like, "I don't know that person from a stranger." It's like they're back to their old spirit self, which is a very common theme through all of this.
Hmm.
So as you are taken basically away from the room and going down the traveling, some people go through a life review and some people don't. And I'm going to skip what the life review is about for now, because this is something that's very, very important for everybody. And I want everybody to take this away from what me talking about NDEs for. So some people go through a life review, some people do not. Some people see what we would refer to as a God or a Jesus figure. But what every single one of them commonly feel is that they don't feel love, is that they are love. They are loved and they are a part of love and they are part of kindness and they are kindness, if that makes sense. You
Yeah.
can feel something and be a part of that as well. It's like the most amazing love you can think of times a million, they've said. And this is essentially what, quote unquote, we would call heaven. So are you thinking, okay, so Catholics see this and atheists don't, and Jews see something completely different? Nope. Near-death experiences are as common to an atheist as they are to a priest, as they are to a member of the Satanic Church, as they are to an Islamist, as they are to a Jewish person. The common bottom line, they all went through this, or at least portions of this.
Wow.
So what's the life review? So the life review, and not everybody does this, but some people do. And I think the people who end up changing as a result of this experience, because they weren't such a nice person in their previous life, have a tendency, I've noticed, to have this more often than don't. But I have absolutely no research or anything to substantiate that claim. It's just watching a multitude of these videos. That's what I'm picking up. So it's you reliving your life experience, interactions with others. What you're looking at in these life reviews is your experiences, but your experiences with and how they affected others. Did you
Okay.
make somebody feel good? Okay, well, that's great. You did something that was nice for somebody. You made them feel good. But it's more than that. Because when you're done interacting with that person, because of the thing you did, it goes on and influences the rest of their morning or the rest of their day or their interactions with others.
I can see that.
Right? The ripple effect, the butterfly effect.
Yes.
So the same thing if you're an asshole. If you're an asshole to somebody and you piss somebody off and you put him in a bad mood, maybe he goes home and he's an asshole to his wife or his kids just because you did something. You started it. That's your fault. Right?
I guess so.
Right. That's indirectly your fault. I mean, he chose how he reacts, but without that interface or without that acid in his pool, it would not have happened. So very powerful. So now it gets back to what's the meaning of life?
Oh boy, we don't have enough time for that.
No, actually, it's quite easy.
Is it?
Because according to this and according to the life reviews, the meaning of life is to have good experiences with others. It's to be nice.
Yeah.
And in the end, only 3 things matter. Is how much you loved, how gently you lived, and how gracefully you let go of things not meant for you.
Good words to live by.
It's actually a quote from Buddha, by the way.
Oh, is it?
Yes. But it's be nice to others.
Yeah.
It's be kind. And if you look at I'm going to Google this real quick. But if you look at the list of the 10 commandments, let's just say a random church. Oh, what the hell? What kind of hippie 10 commandments is that? All right. So
not that church. No.
Don't worship any other god. Okay, that's just I don't think that's don't take God's name in vain. All right, remember the Sabbath, keep it holy. Honor thy father and thy mother. Be nice to dad and mom. Thou shalt not kill. That's a major asshole move. Be nice. Right?
Yeah.
Don't elect to go off the deep end when something goes against you and kill other people.
Yeah.
Don't commit adultery. Once again, not only affecting you and potentially your relationship, but the other relationship, wife, husband, children, extended family. Don't do that. Be kind to others.
Yep.
Thou shalt not steal. Don't steal. It makes you feel bad. You're taking something from somebody else. Maybe they worked hard for. Makes them feel bad. Don't covet thy neighbor. Once again, same thing. Don't bear false witness. Be nice.
Yes.
Almost all the commandments go back to just
nice.
Don't be an asshole.
Yeah.
And the life review is nothing but that. It's just teaching you over and over and over again. Just don't be an asshole.
I do. I try to be nice to everybody. I really, really do. Sometimes people just.
Well, we're imperfect. Yeah, we're imperfect, and people are a challenge.
Oh yes, they are.
Right, and yeah, and like I was saying before, is like we elect how we react to things, right?
Yes.
But just be kind to others. That's it.
Yeah. Yep. My motto is smile and nod. Smile and nod.
What's Dory say? Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming.
Yeah.
Let's do New York versus. I think I preached long enough, right? Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. We're gonna need a shut up Sean buzzer or something. Oh God, I'm going long. So all right, my apologies, but thanks for putting up with that. So let's pick a random state. Oh, Wisconsin.
Okay. Never been there. I'm sure you
Okay.
have. No.
I have. Well, I lived only a state away. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So, Wisconsin is actually a pretty great state. I mean, it does have its drawbacks. The people. No, I mean, it does have its drawbacks. Wisconsin likes cheese and beer, which I can get behind. Gotta love cheese and beer. Wisconsin does both very, very well. Let's see what else. Wisconsin has Lake Erie, Lake Michigan. Great place to go. Racine, Wisconsin is a great getaway place. You got to stay on Lake Michigan. There's a couple of hotels on Lake Michigan. Great time. Wife and I used to love going there for a getaway. Good stuff. Milwaukee, nice town. A lot of great restaurants there. A lot of great theaters there. Saw a lot of good shows in Madison. A lot of good shows in Milwaukee. Overall, used to love it. Oh, even I used to go camping in Northeast Iowa. There's a town in Wisconsin called Prairie du Chien, which is just a little podunk town. Not much in it. It's got its own Walmart, yeah. But adorable little town with adorable little seaside shops and stuff like that, and a bunch of tiny little areas around in Iowa and Wisconsin, right on the Mississippi River there. So pretty cool, pretty comparable winters to New York. Their pizza, not so good. But it is a good bar food state. So I'll give them that. And breakfast, hard to go wrong with breakfast in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Yeah, and pretty much that's a general rule for any Midwest state, Illinois, Iowa, Minnesota, the Dakotas, right where the resource is, right? So, yeah, hard to go wrong with breakfast. Good breakfast state.
Well, I have to say that New York breakfast, bacon, egg, and cheese on a hard roll is the best.
Oh, that is really good. I'll give you that. And there is a lot to be said. And people that aren't from the New York, New Jersey area don't know what a real diner experience is.
Right.
Yeah, and I do miss that gravely. But a good diner experience is just amazing. But the thing about the diner is you can have an amazing experience at 10 a.m., at 3 p.m., at 8 p.m., or at 1 a.m.
Yes.
The diner is there for you. It wants to cuddle you and feed you like an Italian grandmother.
Yeah. Do they have Denny's out there? Because they're kind of similar to diner.
We do have Denny's, but Denny's is more.
Denny's
is more like yeah.
Denny's is Denny's.
Yeah. And out here though, do we have Denny's here? We had it in Iowa. I don't know if we have it here or not. I think we do.
I don't know.
Anyway, I would go Wisconsin over New York, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
I can't answer because I've never been there. But I mean, you know.
All right, so weird drinking laws in Wisconsin. Ladies' night discounts are illegal.
Oh, wow.
Can't do it. Patriots also can't bring their own alcohol into a restaurant to drink with their own meal. Well, of course not. Pardon me.
Well, some restaurants here do let you bring in wine.
What?
No, they do. If they don't have their liquor license yet, they'll allow people to bring their own in.
I didn't even think about that.
That's crazy. But they have a corking fee. Like they charge you to open the wine.
Oh, of course. I have heard of that. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So tonight's quote is, independence is a heady draught, and if you drink it in your youth, it can have the same effect on the brain as young wine does. It does not matter that its taste is not always appealing. It's addictive, and with each drink, you want more. Those deep drinking words are from Maya Angelou. So there you go.
Deep drinking words.
Get some freedom this weekend. Hell yeah. Anyway, that's all I have, man. You got anything else?
We wrapped up spooky season.
Did we? I may have a little I may have one or two more. I don't know.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I don't know. We'll see. But that was pretty good though. Yeah, spooky season. Boo! Happy Halloween, everybody.
Yep. Have a good night.
Bye now.
You can email us at talesofasmalltownbartender@gmail.com. Check our socials. Facebook, facebook.com/talesofasmalltownbartender. Instagram, instagram.com/talesofasmalltownbar/. TikTok, @talesofabartender. Buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/toastbee.